Nsem-Pii TV aba na sa agye nyini na ye adwuma mfe bebree ni na mo buso nso gina mo na so de ana se ebe mo aba so branti a ene mabawa mo ta kire a mo di sa adwuma yi e wo media space de boa tete educate de amane ebo so kɔ ma asama obi ante oba YouTube oba beti ni nyina no ya da mase ni dwuma mo so mo di boa me bon aba so e mo aba so pa mo nkoso ana mo ni sa adwuma pa ne fa mo o my God.
Be the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Well, young fair ninchum ewo Ghana Mrashe Parliament. Na ene Parliament ekwa setena PMU Speaker Urban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin ebetene dwom tifo endra se muti argument course or court course or parliament Roxanne Nelson Dafiamapo rezi issue say penya anase Mrashe Bidwani or Pandai constituency Martin Yindam court really say papa na bato na enam so ma oba parliament no amfa mra kwan so enti ensa nkoto oba foforo o parliament o enam so ma NDC MP Roxanne Nelson resino parliament say e was say MP no a free parliament omon pamo ni free because on qualify as MP bim enam so ma o de asem no kodan speaker and the speaker betna answer elo na adwin say o de ehon popoe ebetudwa na speaker kasa na o de chim say ontimi declare seat vacant because Ghana mrem no say asem kotia obi a o ho kwan say o de injunction to court no so your friend is still of execution this asem no da so e wo court a ontimi declare seat vacant no we no so o asem kan and the speaker asem wo no say ai majority leader Mahama Ayarga de asem ya betu nanim say Afenyo marking a ye minority leader no wakwa kudi ensamoni bi etia Ghana parliament na ama parliament wo Ghana ha no nanim aguase na sebsem nanim onyam ye de atwufo na yese de asema speaker chirema ECOWAS parliament ekwa asetena na Ghana MPs ana also mko ECOWAS parliament no nenu kwansa Afenyo marking ekobi ashase no ka ho bi ba wabe minority leader nti no Ghana mra ne parliament mra kire say obi a minority leader and majority leader on sem fata so call ECOWAS parliament but Afenyo marking entity say obu mra no so ekopie mu e wo ECOWAS parliament e ma nsensem bebrebe ne kopie mu eno na speaker kire mu a ade na Afenyo marking ye no and send them fata into ordinary kwakopim el parliament privilege committee ekosi say Asempa FM 94.7 lawyer Philip Osebonsu etena adwamne efre reporter Koku Asante from parliament na T4 ensemusi or parliament pa so what say speaker I refer Afenyo marking to the privilege committee and find a trasa 1 or 2 BC behind the scenes sense bebrebe yenti na fire joint to comment session of Bedwasi.
In Pakwaba, that's saying, hello, Kwekwas and Totemenka. Good. And in himself, a lot of action in Parliament. Speaker was expected to deliver a ruling. Akosi saying me pacho.
Well, and it's a for Bekaya and our Parliament and Matthew Nidam MPP for Pandai. Also, original Jose or the debate 2026 budget are Dr. Kaselato forcing a presidency or parliament. And also, original announcement minority majority force Omon Peninsula Fife. Now, what you hear now, Tamale High Court, a day in Nsem-Pii just say Martin Nindam election at the parliament or December 2024. And who after Tima and Unti court no die say electoral commission and rerun or Pandai. Ewo bosui ba kun eda in 30 days time omonye na omonim dey say Martin a filing notice of appeal any application for self execution here nemom a mere filing of these documents does not stay the decision of the high court and inti omampene so ama Martin ankoso antena dream amfa budget no fi so madwin say court no decision makes him no longer a member of parliament. Na show him say anka second deputy got ta kunye mu be ma ruling no ade but ode to Mrashe for him say Bagbin ankasa ato nkra de amane say ono a person betena kunye mu na Obedient Semin Honoma reason ruling on the matter. No, please, Speaker of Parliament now, and my bomb pie, and the first order of business, the first thing he did was to zoom straight and offer a ruling on that matter. The ruling is in twofold. First, they say, Parliament has been served with a High Court order annulling the election of Martin Yindam as a member of Parliament. Nemom, on himself, Martin Yindam a filing notice of appeal, any state of execution. And as also appeal, civil procedure rules, no a says only for this filing notice this year, a state decision of the High Court, for 7 days. In fact, he cited order rule 27 of the civil procedure rules of the Court of Appeal to back this position. Say, Enunti Martin Yindam bet to me Abba and Masebe Jim. I assume as a member of Parliament, encosi 7 days in over expire. In the encosi 1st December, I joined that in the media. Martin Yindam, and it's member of Parliament as a member of Parliament. Nemom say Joda Epang, not a court for incident plan, Semno so and making a substantive order there. Never say the High Court ruling annulling the election, and the one in force. Nemom my son say what file the notice of appeal, even though it has not been heard, or not even say civil procedure rules of the Court of Appeal or kind of say the decision is paid for 7 days. And only Bagbin, the decision now, what's the key regarding Martin Yindam and whether or not Pandai seat has become vacant by virtue of the Tamale High Court ruling of Monday.
Oh, okay. Ain't Nazesiano after Monday, Sir Matthew Yindam, will be ya. It was the lawyers, Pushima, the court, efficacy data, or the application for stay of execution and subsequently the substantive appeal. Are they also focusing on CCR and Onomebwa?
Exactly. In particular, the application for stay of execution. I could see 1st December there. I say, Otimi share na courts etna sem so na make a substantive order. This one is just an interlocutory, specific from the Court of Appeal rules.
Sure.
It's not a filing days notice, A man of 7 days reprieve.
Yes.
From now up until 3rd December, they can carry out his business as a member of Parliament.
Very well. Now, a ban is after the ruling when Matthew Yindam in Nakasa.
Martin Yindam Ankasa, and a prayer baby only chamber. Meaning they were banned Hadia. Now, make us here, me step out of the chamber. Now, Martin Yindam any around, although in Ra or Kasache Joy FM, Eman in Chemusi on the day, but also consider the host a member of Parliament in Jobeba. But you see, I can say there, or Mahaya, in for in Tankano, and Kasai about this decision. A man of some timeline there, but it is a very strict timeline. The say, oh yeah, Juma, not me. Yeah, Obi, and then go see a Juada.
Very well. It we'll see. I mean, but meaning say after I know sign can be been so far minority leader when also not or say
and also say Chief Obekaya na ochi me no etwe mu na majority leader Mahama Yarega making formal complaint to the Parliament of Ghana. Any speaker said the minority leader Alexander Afenyo Makin aye name bi I book Parliament in India. Say among for Obekaya last meeting Parliament take decision say the delegation they call ECOWAS Parliament Alexander Afenyo Makin omo yidi fimu which say omo show mo say mu ni ekika ho a minority leaders any majority leaders our delegation ECOWAS Pan-African Parliament omo for omo kan ho na mom Alexander Afenyo Makin akọ n'anim wo ECOWAS Parliament as the elected deputy speaker ntino na or insist say yemfa ni din shame. In fact the list minority for a present here na ni din ewo mu as a member of the delegation na mom Parliament take resolution say me ni din fim every place with Madam Patricia Piaget, the deputy minority leader. We know say subsequently Madam Patricia Piaget so can say onokwa ambeto obeko. Nemo the resolution of Parliament take here na edasu. And Ghana delegation I call Nigeria san komo koso mu in as ECOWAS Parliament Yes so mo call ho no mo kwa Alexander Afenyo Makin etiwe. Anything Nigeria for ni ECOWAS for say Ghana for yi Afenyo Makin fi ade no mu dia. And mo swear Ghana and take your rightful place in the ECOWAS Parliament. And it had to, according to the majority, they had to take threats. So say, Oman sure Munipano Ankwa. omo be yom hu efie ko parliament mu and only complainer Mama Yarga emekia or say that behavior Alexander Afenyo making ya or show up we ko parliament the parliament in India it's not parliament a passing resolution in his opinion it was contemptuous of parliament. Parliament here in Nsem-Pii say the next day and for the ruling member now speaker say Nsem-Pii BCC and you went for ruling number and then the ruling already now oye ni issue mu etieti Nsem-Pii nyina mu no prima facie Alexander Afenyo marking conduct contemptuous of parliament into was citing for contempt nemum eno say ye ka say Alexander Afenyo marking bulu ni mtia say ye holding for contempt of parliament. They are referring to the privileges committee. The privileges committee. Enkoyen Shishemu. And she say Alexander Afenyo marking conduct, meets the threshold set up under the rules. Say a parliament in India. Now more for recommendations. The Speaker of Parliament say prima facie the conduct of Alexander Afenyo marking or show up where was parliament, a parliament in India, anti privileges committee. Enkoyen Shishemu. Report Parliament.
Na time majority leader the allegation new against Afenyo marking no Afenyo marking enya the right to be heard and also sorry kasa our parliament extreme the frontier the course on the course
on that day Alexander Afenyo marking no parliament there but one sorry and now anka bibia
okay
the complaint went to the speaker decided so now I'm making say complaint is grounded to admit it in the first place.
Yes.
A disclosive prima facie case and in the Speaker of Parliament so no quite issue mu na wa share mranumu say there is a prima facie case say Alexander Afenyo marking conduct e be na parliament in India nimum it was a privileges committee e ko hwehwemu na omo make a definite position say the decision of Afenyo marking to attend a parliament despite he is being removed from the delegation is contemptuous of parliament and Etienne, he can make you Alexander Afenyo marking. We are pen Afenyo marking original in Nassau. Now, Professor Kabi, name speaker where they say the kind of parliament, one catching the eye of the speaker. It's big unfair no Anna or no Santana Nakumba. Speaker of Parliament, I'm making this ruling.
Oh, okay. It is a presumption is before Speaker a bar to the conclusion said there is a prima facie case, the presumption is now only Afenyo, maybe only Afenyo Akasadada, right? Eti on the side of the story.
Well, I'm going to say because Speaker Sabia, because he wanted to just make a prima facie determination, he did not need to hear from Afenyo market. Even the removal of teachers, Nsem-Pii, even Nsem-Pii, Speaker of Parliament and church remove from me understanding. I mean, from the opinion or they were to Parliament and then say the allegation of contempt you making against Alexander Afenyo market say and the Speaker of Parliament says any money in AC and no Speaker of Parliament just say omu Alexander Afenyo marking for say odi for say where he's in contempt of Parliament. Nemum in sema ye kafa Afenyo marking ho no se ni na ye no credit it may be grounds for contempt. In court to the privileges committee enquire who issue they almost establish all the facts then they can make a recommendation to the Parliament. But mean to me can't say Speaker of Parliament and Kasani Alexander Afenyo marking kasa up on same way who and now on kasa.
Very well. From the Speaker's desk, there two rulings in a bar, right?
Yes.
Apart from Wayne and then Kosovo Parliament.
Well, the debate on the 2026 budget is concluded. You see, Alexander Afenyo marking and now so the leaders are concluding Alexander Afenyo marking over 1 hour to make the case for his side, or we are majority leader, and to be making the case for his side. That's a debate, then Parliament will start taking the various estimates from the ministries, departments, and agencies. Then they will put it on the floor. Committees will work, and then ultimately an appropriation will be passed before Parliament goes on break for Christmas.
And the leaders will be out 1 hour to speak.
Yes, 1 hour.
Hey, wow! But one interesting thing about up during this debate, this whole thing around sanitary parts. I think Honorable Ekovesen Tasifua in a erase. Has there been an official response from the from MPs on the majority side, I think the two of them, Ministry of Education, Inusaf Husseini, is it Inusaf Husseini? Your friend is saying the Education Minister and the Deputy Haruna Idrisu and Clement Park. Omar can be officially.
In fact, when the member raised that issue on Tuesday, I understand. I understand. The Education Minister himself responded. Say the mathematics a quarter of a year, he said, as Education Minister, the sanitary pass or much it just follows the book of mass in spot on.
Okay.
In fact, and so Clement Park a press conference at which I was present at church in same room say sanitary pass no omache ebikra edaso ha omunteni na wiye. In just say matter visit the course of why no so that is the opinion both the majority the Education Minister and the Deputy have made. One, Haruna Idrisu Ankasa made a comments on the floor on Tuesday, and then yesterday the Deputy held a press conference in Parliament.
Very well. Kwaku, my nasi bibiania yebesi aba bedi nkomo bio. Why? Yeda sepa Kwaku Asante ena yeten nkano ye Parliamentary Affairs correspondent ena mote say all my rundown on what happened in Parliament and fa o messages no ebre zero say the law on the mere filing acting as a stay yen share nya conclusive precedents ewo hono. What will be your argument to convince the speaker to vary the decision why no because the speaker can easily
the merits of this case and the consequence of the decision. The merits of this case, are very clear. If that decision is not valid, what we do is the people of Pandai will be denied representation that the Constitution guarantees them. And that would be a solid argument. And we will not bear the facts to him as it is. In this particular case, the panel fallacy of execution. He has no control as to when the case is listed and that is empaneled. The people of Bandai need their representatives to speak to issues in Parliament for and on their behalf. And it's, while we await or abide the judicial process to get a case filed, they should be properly represented. And of course, you see, the authority and experts are looking clearly will lay sway, even though it is not blanket. If you read it, you see that clearly the courts are saying that once you know that there is a pending application, don't do anything to disturb the authority of the court.
Sure.
And I'm sure the speaker will be willing to listen to us with the review of his ruling.
Very well. Lawyer, my yenna say bibiania and when him say o leader and so no speaker referring to the privileges committee. In fact, wakase prima facie he's engaged in a contempt of parliament or the number the privileges committee and also no are you aware of that ruling as well?
Yes, like I said, I've been told, and it's just interesting. Did say at the privileges committee, this matter will be dealt with. Look, this week I refer, and we are governed by our rules and the Constitution. Speaker, I refer. The matter will be discussed at the privilege committee. Honestly speaking, I wish that we hadn't gotten here in the first place. Speaker will have to give a ruling on this. Sometimes, sometimes we need to be very careful. He's the leader of the whole minority group. Now, let me tell you what can happen. Because when you are referred to the privileges committee, you can actually be expelled from Parliament. It's one of the things. So, is that what they want to do, for instance? That the leader of the minority caucus should be expelled from Parliament? I mean, it's still a little easier. I'm not happy about it, but we will take it a day at a time. But I can tell you, some of these things from outside is meant to weaken the minority. But look, we are not swayed by that. We are stronger as ever. We are united as ever behind our leader. We will support him every turn of the way to lead us. This is not going to discourage us at all. That we can let everybody know, every Ghanaian, every party supporter should know that the minority is totally behind our leader. And we're going to go through this with him together, and we believe we will come up on top. We are not going to be worried about this at all. We'll go through the process because our rules require. But I can assure you, at the end, we'll come out on top of this.
But when you also say, apart from Speaker referring to citing for contempt, I referring to privileges committee, there is also talk about the potential of, the court itself citing him for contempt. For any press conference or Nsem-Pii or against the judiciary. Now we the chi time or Kasan, what was running through your mind as counsel for the minority?
Honestly speaking, the facts will show that at the time I was debating.
And now we're debating. Okay, that's fine.
The budget.
That's fine.
And true, I'm going to make the budget. Finance Minister Abekachi said Ghana Petroleum Fund. I can 1.1 billion. I brought 3.6 billion. No person will ye Ghana Petroleum Fund that say, yes, all you need in Asa. Now, we are Ghana Stabilization Fund, Ghana Heritage Fund, Ghana World Fund, near the boy in Chimano. Minister for Finance, or near President, as he said, he can open so we now educate Yamafo. Those were the issues I was debating on the floor.
Okay. And
at the time, I wasn't behind it, but I had. And look, sometimes let's call a spade and not a working tool. Judge, and so we are still waiting for the judgment. But at least from what we all heard, it is so worrying that as a country we want to tolerate this. But a judge can say this. And the court to be so citing for contempt. Well, we'll see. Yeah, yes, so we'll see. We'll wait. Say number. Say court. We'll be there to face the court.